It was a chilly October evening when I arrived at St. Agnes Hospital, a sprawling, aging institution nestled on the outskirts of a small town in the heart of the United States. The place had a reputation for being haunted, a grim reminder of the countless lives it had seen come and go over the decades. I had been assigned to document the hospital's history for a local magazine, and I was skeptical about the supernatural tales that surrounded the place. As I entered the hospital's imposing front doors, the air seemed to grow colder, and a shiver ran down my spine. The lobby was dimly lit, with flickering fluorescent lights casting eerie shadows on the peeling wallpaper. A reception desk stood at the center, abandoned and covered in dust. Cobwebs adorned the corners of the room like macabre decorations. I approached the desk and rang the bell, but no one came. An old newspaper from the 1960s lay scattered on the floor. The headline read, "St. Agnes Hospital, a sanctuary for the ailing." It seemed like a lifetime ago. The silence was unsettling, but I chalked it up to the hospital's current state of disrepair. I ventured deeper into the building, my footsteps echoing in the empty hallways. My camera hung around my neck, ready to capture the hospital's history. The first floor was a labyrinth of abandoned rooms, each one a testament to the hospital's former glory. Dusty medical equipment, broken gurneys, and discarded patient records lay scattered about. The atmosphere was oppressive, as if the building itself exhaled the anguish of those who had suffered within its walls. As I continued my exploration, I heard faint whispers in the distance. My heart raced, and I strained to listen. It was as though the walls themselves were speaking, recounting tales of pain and despair. I shook off the unease and convinced myself it was just my imagination. One room on the first floor caught my attention. The door was slightly ajar, and a pale light spilled from within. I pushed it open cautiously, revealing a small, dilapidated chapel. Rows of pews faced a crumbling altar, where a faded crucifix hung crookedly. As I took photos of the chapel, I noticed movement out of the corner of my eye. A shadowy figure stood at the back of the room, shrouded in darkness. I blinked, and it was gone. My heart pounded in my chest, and I hurried out of the chapel, leaving behind an ominous presence. I decided to venture upstairs, where the patient rooms were located. The stairs creaked with each step, and the air grew colder with each ascent. The second floor was even more desolate than the first. Patient rooms lined the hallway, their doors ajar, revealing glimpses of forgotten lives. I couldn't help but wonder what horrors had unfolded behind those closed doors. In one room, I discovered a diary, its pages yellowed with age. It belonged to a nurse who had worked at St. Agnes in the 1950s. Her entries spoke of strange occurrences, lights flickering, whispers in the night, and patients claiming to have seen apparitions. The nurse's final entry was chilling. "I can't take it anymore. The hospital is cursed. I have to leave." As I read her words, the lights in the room flickered, casting eerie shadows. I felt a presence behind me, cold breath on the back of my neck. I turned, but there was no one there. Panic surged through me, and I fled the room, leaving the diary behind. I descended the stairs, my heart pounding, and made my way to the basement. The air grew heavy and suffocating as I descended further into the bowels of the hospital. The basement was a maze of tunnels filled with rusted pipes and discarded medical supplies. The darkness seemed to close in around me, and I struggled to find my way. Suddenly, I heard a woman sobbing echoing through the tunnels. I followed the sound, my footsteps echoing ominously. It led me to a small, hidden room at the end of a corridor. Inside, a flickering candle illuminated a scene that froze my blood. A woman in a tattered hospital gown sat in a corner, her hair matted and her eyes hollow. She cradled something in her arms, a baby wrapped in a dirty blanket. She rocked back and forth, whispering to the child in a language I couldn't understand. Her eyes met mine, and they were filled with despair and madness. I stumbled back in horror and fled the basement, my camera clutched tightly in my trembling hands. I knew then that the stories of St. Agnes Hospital were more than mere legend. They were a chilling reality. The hospital's dark history was alive, and it had left its mark on the souls who had suffered within its walls. As I rushed out of the hospital, I could still hear the woman's anguished cries echoing in my ears. St. Agnes Hospital had revealed its secrets to me, and I had no doubt that it would continue to haunt anyone who dared to venture into its forsaken halls. I drove away, my heart heavy with the knowledge of the horrors that lurked within, vowing never to return to that accursed place.